So we were discussing about foreign key in our earlier session. So as discussed, the second constraint that get imposed is whenever we delete a record in the parent table, the record will be deleted only if the record is not related with any record in the child table. Now for example, let us assume that I am trying to delete the record with the roll number as CS01. I am just trying to delete Alex record. Now when you try to delete this record, you cannot delete this. The reason is this record is being related with a record in the borrow relation. Can you see here the first record is with the roll number CS01, so it is related with this record. So when you try to delete this record, you cannot delete this record. You will be getting error message stating that it is being referred by a record in the child table. But whereas when you try to delete this record, there is a record with roll number CS03, this record you can delete it because this record is not related to any record in the child table. So this is what the two constraints gets imposed whenever you apply foreign key. The first constraint is whenever you insert a record in the child table, the record will be inserted only if the record is being related with any record in the parent table. The second constraint is whenever you try to delete a record in the parent table, the record will be deleted only if the record is not being related with any record in the child table. So hope you feel comfortable with this primary key and foreign key. Okay. So with this, let us move to the next category of command, that is transaction control language. So these commands are meant for transactions. So whenever we have transactions, then obviously we will be making use of these commands. So what is transaction? In our earlier class, we should have discussed about transaction. So transaction is nothing but set of instructions which logically forms a unit. Assume that I want to do a task. So for that task, I need 4 or 5 statements. Okay. Let us be specific. Okay. So first I have an insert statement. Okay. So first I have insert statement, then again I have insert statement, then again I have update statement, then again insert statement, again insert statement. Okay, assume that these 5 instructions, I'm just ignoring the values whatever I'm just going to insert. Okay, I just written only the commands. Assume that you have those things also, but we are not focusing on that. Okay, so we have commands. So if it is confusing, you can just have like this. Okay, so you also have all this. Okay, so these 5 commands forms a logical unit. Now you can call these commands as a transaction. Okay, right? Now whenever we execute a transaction, we need to ensure that it satisfies certain properties. Okay, so you can achieve that by using these commands. The first command is commit command. See, the purpose of commit command is whatever changes that has been caused by the DML commands will be residing only in the buffer by default. If you want to take those results to your actual database, then you have to give this commit command. To be clear, assume that I am just giving 2 insert command, 1 update command, again 2 insert commands. Now once after giving these 5 commands, these 5 commands result will be available only in the buffer, not in the actual database. Buffer in the sense, now assume that you are just executing these 5 commands, and after that you are switching off your computer, and again you are switching on your computer and you are trying to retrieve the records. When you try to retrieve the records, these 5 commands result will not be there in your database. The reason is these 5 commands, when you are given earlier, those results were available only in the buffer. These 5 commands results are available only in the buffer. So if something is in buffer and if you switch off your computer, what happens? Whatever results you have in buffer, it will be removed. So if you want those results that is residing in buffer to be taken to actual database, then you have to give the command called commit. So commit is a command meant for taking the results whatever we have in the buffer to the actual database. Clear? So the next command is rollback. So rollback is for ignoring the changes whatever you have in the buffer, ignoring the results whatever you have in buffer. Now say for example, I have given these 5 commands and these 5 commands results are available in the buffer. Now due to some reason I don't want these results, then what I can give? I can give rollback. Once if you give rollback, whatever results you have in the buffer, it will be removed. Okay, there will be a term when you refer internet, there will be a term that will be used. It will be whenever you give rollback command, it will take to previous consistent state. Previous consistent state in the sense previous committed state. Okay, so ultimately the meaning is whatever results you have in buffer, it will be removed. That is the meaning of it. The next command is save point command. So save point command is used for creating intermediate consistent state. Intermediate consistent state in the sense, let me just explain it in an example. I have these 5 commands. Sorry, I have this first 3 commands and followed by these 2 commands. Now, normally when you give rollback, what happens? So the entire results given by these 5 commands will be removed from the database. Sorry, removed from the buffer. The results whatever that is being given by these 5 commands will be removed from the buffer. Now instead of removing all the results, if you want to remove only portion of the results, then you can go with save point. Okay, now what I am trying to tell is, say for example, now instead of removing all the results, I want to remove only portion of the results. So what I can do is, I can just create a save point. Say for example, save point space some name, save point name. Now once after giving these 3 commands, if you just give the command called save point space sp, so what happens is a intermediate consistent state will be created. Okay. Now after creating intermediate consistent state, whatever commands you are given, so those results will be also residing in the buffer only. Now after that, if you give rollback to sp, what happens is, after creating the save point, whatever commands you have given, those results alone will be removed from the buffer. Now in our example, we have given 3 commands first, then we have created a save point, then followed by 2 commands. Now when you give rollback to sp, what happens is, those commands whatever you have given after creating the save point, those commands result will be removed from the buffer. So it means that these 2 insert commands result will be removed from the buffer, but whereas still the results of these 3 commands will be available in buffer only. Okay, so these 2 insert commands result alone will be removed, whereas these 3 commands result will be available only in buffer. Okay. Now there is a term called partial rollback and total rollback. Now whatever we are given is what referred as partial rollback. Partial rollback in the sense, whatever results that has been created, or whatever results that is available after creating the save point, only those results will be removed. So this is what referred as partial rollback. Suppose if you simply give rollback, what happens? The entire result available in the buffer will be removed. Okay, so that is referred as total rollback. Partial rollback and total rollback, right? So hope it is clear for you. Now with this we are moving to the next category of command called data control language. This data control language commands are used for giving privileges to the users. Say for example, you are a database user, now what you want to do is you plan to create users. In addition to you, you also feel that some more users will be also using your database. So once after creating users, if you want to create user, there is a separate command available. Okay, so create user, username identified by some passwords. So by using that command create user, you can create users. Once after creating the users, if you want to give privileges to them, say for example the user can access my table, the user can access these commands in my table, like that. For giving privileges, you will be making use of the command called grant command. Grant command is used for giving privileges to the users, and revoke command is used for taking back the privileges. Okay, so once after giving you have given some privileges to him, but after some time you feel that you want to get back the privileges. So if you want to get back the privileges, then you can give the command revoke. So for granting the privilege, grant command, and for getting back the privilege, you will be giving the command called revoke, right? So with this our session gets ended. Okay, so practice all the commands. Wish you all the best. Thank you, students.